Let's get good. I am the Gamer Under Development, and this is the Warframe Beginner's Guide to the Galaxy. We are picking up where we left off, which is about halfway through the New Strange. The New Strange is a questline for Cephalon Samaras that is going to unlock access to a mode called Sanctuary Onslaught and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. These two modes are great for ranking up your frames and weapons and things like that and helping you build your affinity. So what we're going to do is finish that off today, and in order to do so, we need to go visit Cephalon Samaras at the Larunda relay, at any relay really, but it's sending us to the Larunda one, so we'll do that. I'm trying out some new sound settings and stuff like that today, guys, so if there's any sound issues, let me know in the comments. I also had to mess with the webcam because Logitech's software is kind of cray, so if anything goes wonky, let me know in the comments so I can fix it for the next one. Should be okay, though. I'm anticipating that it will be okay. And guys, I can't wait. I have a really, really cool new mic arm coming in that should make for even better audio in the future. Okay. So we're gonna run on over to see Samaras. We could have just fast traveled too, but I'm old-fashioned. I like to actually admire the relays while I'm traveling through. And by admire, I mean I like to flip through them because I play video games, which means I like to jump around. Especially like anything that's related to an MMO. People generally enjoy jumping around, at least I do. Okay. Elite Arid Lancer is done.
You found something my sentinels missed in that prison.
Lovely.
You will make an excellent hunter.
Okay.
Decipher as we agreed. It is of Tenno origin.
Okay.
An anomaly from before the Orokin Purge.
Dun dun dun.
Must be synthesized. It belongs in Sanctuary. I have created a blueprint based on its biological properties.
Oh, I think he's giving us a Spectre. I could be wrong, but I think he's giving us a Spectre. Let's go find out. I actually just had to build one of these anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and leave the relay. Yeah, we'll leave. I wasn't sure if we could... I was thinking about it, and I was like, I know that there's a place over here where we can go and we can refit our frames, but we can't build anything on the relay. Okay.
Construct the item I've given you. This knowledge could empower...
Right on. Now I gotta find what it is.
Please, hurry up.
Would you relax? Would you relax, Ordis?
An antique Series 2 Cephalon? All I found were degraded beyond repair. But you're still...
Wait, which one is it?
Your abilities could be...
Okay, I'm gonna go check the quest to see what we're actually supposed to craft. I figured I'd just see it in there. Craft the Scorch Beacon. Okay.
Ordis is honored by your compliment.
Oh, he flattered Ordis, guys. He flattered Ordis. Now we're in trouble. Scorch Beacon right here. We already have the materials, so we're gonna go ahead and get that started. It'll be done in less than a minute. During that time, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys where we're at with Nightwave. Pretty far up here, we just got our Forma bundle. Just so you guys know, if you do these two Nightwave things, like the actual puzzles, the mystery puzzles where you have to do the jump puzzle based on the information you find, they actually award 7k Nightwave each. So if you need a fast burst of Nightwave reputation, then go do those. It'll push you through very, very quickly. I needed to do that to get to a Forma bundle so that I could raise our Syndicate level with Steel Arbiters, or Steel Arbiters, Steel Meridian. Wow. Good morning, good. Good morning. Have you woken up yet? Perhaps not. Speaking of, I do need to go ahead and change this real quick, so we'll do that. We're gonna change from our Vigilance Sigil, which is 8%, or rather 5%, to our Protectorate Sigil, which is 8%. Like that, that's a pretty cool new sigil. We may want to, you know, recolor it a little bit, make it pop. Let's go with something more along the lines of this. Okay, that didn't help much. Yeah, it's still barely visible, but that's alright. Oh, alpha's a big part of that, so let's turn the alpha up, and then one of the reasons I picked this sigil is because it's pretty cool that you can rotate it. You kind of make it like that. Seems good. We'll go ahead and decrease the width a little bit so that it fits a little better. And of course, I'm going to decrease the height as well so that it stays in correct aspect ratio. And then maybe we'll just pull it up a little bit. There. Perfect. It is a decent chest adornment now. I mean, honestly, if I wanted to be really picky, I would do this. Make it even smaller. Ah, that's the wrong one. This is the one I want. And try to, like, position it dead center there. Yeah, it still doesn't quite fit right, but it's not terrible. Okay. Enough of that. Mainly we need it for the 8%. I just like making things look nice. And let's come on over here, and we should be able to scoop our Scorched Beacon. Lovely. Oh, and our Bronco's done. Ah, we're out of weapon slots. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to take a look at what weapons we need to keep and what weapons we can toss. Because I'm more than willing to bet that we have some... Yeah, the Brayton Mark 1 is tossable. Oh. Very cryptic. Cryptic and honestly a little bit creepy, guys. Okay, so I'm going to sell the Mark 1 Brayton. Anything that's Mark 1 you can pretty much get away with selling without too much trouble. They're not going to usually be used to craft anything else. Now that we've done that, we can reclaim that and build our AK Broncos. Lovely. So we're going to give it the level 30 Bronco, the level 0 Bronco, and that's going to start the Oh, I'm out of credits. Okay, so we're 18k shy on credits. We'll get that easily enough. I just need to run Series Gabby a little bit more to make some more money. I had credits this morning, guys, I did, but I spent a bunch of them upgrading our Steel Meridian. Okay, so we have our Scorch Beacon. It is time to investigate the source of the transmission on Morax Europa. So let's go there. Once we finish this mission, or this quest, what we'll get access to once again is Sanctuary Onslaught and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. What those modes are is they're essentially kill efficiency rush modes, where your goal is just to kill as many enemies as possible as quickly as possible. The thing that's nice about that is that it just throws enemies at you repeatedly, and if it's just going to throw enemies at you repeatedly, then what ends up happening is you just get a lot of enemy kills. Enemy kills grant affinity, depending on what you kill them with. So if you use abilities to wipe everything out, then you get a lot of affinity on your frame, and if you use weapons to wipe things out, you get a lot of affinity on your weapons.
I'll have to break into the network. Be prepared for having resistance.
Roger, roger. Okay. The other thing, too, is that oftentimes you'll find other people going into Sanctuary Onslaught, and because of that, because of the way that party affinity works, you'll actually get a lot of affinity from that, too, even if you're not the one doing the kills. I believe the way that it works right now, and they may have rebalanced this since I last checked, but you actually gain more affinity from your allies killing stuff than you killing stuff. Now, sometimes people take that into account and they kind of leech off of others. I really don't recommend you do that. You should always be trying to contribute to the kills and stuff because you want to share your affinity with the rest of the group as well. But it does basically mean that because Sanctuary Onslaught is a group activity, you get even more affinity by doing it, even if you're not the most efficient member of your group. So it's basically all win. Oh, beautiful execution there. And that is what makes it one of the best ways to rank up your frames, weapons, etc. The one thing to take into account there too is that there are great rewards from it. If you do it for long enough, you'll actually get relics, which we've been through cracking before. Those are what get you prime parts. But the other thing you can get from it, and this is a unique reward that is only available in Sanctuary Onslaught and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, is you can get pieces to build the Chroma Warframe, which is a very, very interesting frame that has some looting abilities, and also has just some great utility overall. Not an easy frame to build, mind you. It takes a while to farm up the pieces and everything, but Chroma is quite good in the right situations. She does have the ability to kind of protect points very, very well. She has the ability to catch enemies in her... I can't remember the name of the actual net, but she's got like a giant net thing that forms almost a globe and catches enemies, and you can actually scan enemies that are trapped in it, so it's a good way for you to catch scan targets. It also steals from enemies with an augment, I believe, so basically just a lot of things you can do with Chroma. She's quite fun. And I believe she also heals, and I mean, they nerfed this a little while ago because of the Scarlet Spear thing, but I think they already reversed that nerf. But I think she also heals allied units, so like she'll help you keep rescue targets alive, things like that. So just all in all, a very, very useful frame to get, even though she's rather difficult to get. And I still don't know if I would consider one of my, like, top to gets. Like, Gara's a top to get. Gara will carry you through a lot of content if you can put her together. Chroma is a lot more utility, but it feels like it's a little bit more fringe utility. So definitely not a bad frame to have, but not necessarily one to prioritize over some of your more core frames like a Limbo or a Gara. Limbo is phenomenal, by the way, guys. As soon as we get the Limbo Theorem mission, which is going to be after our next junction, I believe, we're going for Limbo, because Limbo is extremely powerful. You can do a lot of very cool things with Limbo, especially when it comes to like farming and acquiring resources and things. Okay, that's done, so we're gonna grab this and head to the next objective. So bottom line is, Limbo is just a good frame to have. Limbo also allows you to do content that you may not actually be prepared to do, and the reason for that is because Limbo is able to, as his passive, he's able to go into the Void, which is a separate dimension. When you're in the Void, you cannot damage enemies that are outside of the Void, and enemies outside of the Void cannot damage you. That means that if you, for example, take a capture mission that's way too high level, like you shouldn't be able to handle this, you can jump into the Void, run to the capture target, pop out of the Void long enough to kill the capture target, or pull the capture target into the Void, kill him, and then get out of the mission. So Limbo just allows you to approach content that would normally be much more difficult because of that being able to hide in the Void. He's extremely, extremely powerful for that reason. Some people will even say that he trivializes content, which is not necessarily incorrect, but at the same time, as a new player, he makes a lot of content that would be inaccessible much more accessible. So yeah, highly, highly recommend Limbo. Limbo's great, Gara's great. Let's see, who else is just really, really solid? Like, Chroma's pretty good for a lot of things too, but I find that Chroma's a little bit more difficult, I think, for a new player, because you do have to make sure you're keeping his Vex armor up. You have to balance the amount of tankiness you have with the amount of efficiency and things you have, so you can always keep that up. His Vex armor is actually an ability that makes it so that he does more damage and has more armor after being hit. So it's a weird juggle, because you want to be hit, but you also want to make sure you don't die before you get to your full stacks, and then once you are fully stacked, you can't afford to drop it, because if you drop it, you lose all that utility. And the way that buffing works in this game, you won't actually see, like, a buff counter on your screen somewhere convenient so that you can track it. You have to generally look in the bottom right corner of the screen, which I'll be 100% honest, right now the bottom right corner of my screen is covered by a cup of coffee. So I actually wouldn't be able to even see my Vex armor at the moment. If I move my coffee, I would be able to see. But, like, that's the thing, is anytime you're buff juggling, you really got to keep an eye on it. At least in the case of Gara, when you use Gara's Shatter Shield, or Shatter Storm, I don't remember the exact name, but you guys will know the ability when you get it. It shows in the upper right corner, so you can look to the upper right corner where your health and everything is, and you will see a buff timer of that buff counting down, and that's your indicator of, okay, I need to recast the buff before it falls off so I can keep my damage increase. With Chroma, that's not the same. With Chroma, you only see it down in the bottom right, so it's literally out of sight, out of mind, because you're not looking at the bottom right to check your health. The only reason you're looking at the bottom right is to check your energy, and realistically, if you're checking your energy, then you're probably not in a great state anyway, because you're trying to make sure you have the energy to cast Vex armor again. So the bottom line is, it's just kind of in an awkward place that makes it harder, in my opinion, for new players to keep up with. So Chroma's a little bit tougher, I feel like. Gara, once again, I sweat Gara really hard, guys, because Gara is just extremely good for new players. Extremely good. And the reason why is because not only does she have infinite scalability in her damage shield, what that means for folks at home who may not be accustomed to the meaning of that term, the infinite scalability thing with her shield is that Gara has a damage shield that you can increase the damage of over time by doing other certain things, and that damage does not have a cap. Which means that if you do it right, you can build that up to the point where, like, you walk by somebody and it ticks for 100k damage and instantly kills them. Which is extremely powerful. It is difficult to juggle it and get it there, and it does require a lot of energy to build it up to that point. But that's kind of the fun of playing Gara, is figuring out how you're going to juggle that energy and get it to that. Now, the upside to Gara, too, though, is that even if you mess it up and that buff falls off, you're not completely wrecked, because Gara still has a very powerful 4 that makes a giant wall that will protect points and things. It doesn't feel good when it falls off, but at the same time, you're not completely back to square zero, because Gara still has a really strong kit otherwise. In the case of Chroma, the rest of his kit, other than Vex armor, is kind of meh. Like, it's not bad, it's just not incredible. And that means that if you do let Vex armor fall off after it's at full stacks, you basically start at zero.
It couldn't be.
Speaking of Chroma, we just ran past him in that mission, but Chroma did spawn into that mission.
I will form another blueprint for you.
Okay.
Physically. The hunt is not over.
Cool. Please tell me I don't have to go to Samaras to pick the blueprint up. Please tell me.
You used to know, Hortus, but you've lost those memories, haven't you?
Okay, cool. I don't have to go back to Samaras to get it. We just need to craft the Chroma signal, which is no problem. We're gonna go over to our foundry here, and we're just gonna search for signal.
Heal your malfunctions.
I can type, I swear. Chroma signal is right here. Let's go ahead and get that started. And then while that's cooking, we will, I guess, just mess around a little bit. So yeah, like I was saying, Chroma is definitely less of a starter frame. One frame I can highly recommend for new players, and I didn't actually get this until actually I still don't have it on my main account, because I got a different frame, but either Ivara or Loki are great frames to pick up as a new player. Their stealth is extremely powerful. It is something that will help you get through spy missions. It will help you get through tough content missions where you really just need to get to one target and take them out. Limbo kind of does the same thing, but Limbo's less useful in spy missions because he's not actually invisible, so cameras will still see you when you're in the void. They just can't hurt you. So yeah, there's some gotchas there with Limbo, but Loki, I believe, is on a later planet than we've even been on yet, so it'll be a while before you get to him. That being said, he is a great, great stealth frame and has many, many capabilities, especially as you get further on in the game. Okay, let's get our Chroma signal and let's get out of here.
I don't like this, Tenno.
I honestly, other than Gara, like, I don't know what frame I would really push on this account right away. Like, I'm trying to think. We have Rhino. Rhino's a pretty staple frame. That being said, like, Rhino's a staple frame because Rhino is super, super easy. He's not difficult at all.
The next logical location is the machine where we previously activated codices aboard the derelict ship.
Hey, we're going back to the derelict, y'all.
Your potential is squandered here as a simple service.
Wow. Wow. Thanks, Samaras. Thanks.
As all things outside Sanctuary do.
Samaras is like really, really power tripping.
Tenno, return to the machine before the trail goes cold.
Excellent. Let's do that. Okay, so we're going to Mars, which will allow us to revisit the derelict. That's really weird, but okay, that's fine. I'm trying to think of other frames that are definitely like pickups right now. We have a speed frame. We have a like tanky frame. We don't really have a defense frame, but Gara fills that role. I'm trying to think of anything else that like that's the thing. A lot of frames do things better than other frames, but the real question is which ones do you need as far as content to continue going? And honestly, between Volt and Rhino, you cover a lot of content, and the rest can easily be covered by Gara. So after that point, it's really up to what you want from a frame. Okay. Oh, alright then. You don't go down easy, do you? So that's not usual for me. Like, normally you shoot something with the heck and it just drops like a bag of rocks. In this case, that guy was a little bit tougher, kind of hung in there for a minute. Yeah, wow, these guys are a lot tougher. That's because they are well-armored enemies. They're actually probably a bit more leveled than the heck is. Yeah, they are. So in this instance, it might have actually been better to bring our Volt in with our higher level weapons, but I think we'll be fine overall. This is a good opportunity for us to get some affinity. You do get a little more affinity if you're killing enemies that are higher level than you, so keep that in mind. Not necessarily a bad thing to do. Actually, that makes a very, very valid point, though. That's a good reason to get Loki. Once again, though, Loki is further on. You can get Ivara earlier than you can get Loki, but it's a lot more difficult. To get Loki, you have to farm the Hyena pack, I believe, which is on, I want to say, Neptune. But in order to get Ivara, you have to basically just get lucky and complete spy missions, and every once in a while you'll get, like, if you get all 3 of the spy nodes without getting caught or losing one, you will randomly get, like, Ivara pieces. Which is not terrible. I mean, you can put it together, it just takes a lot of spy mission runs. That being said, spy missions are relatively quick if you understand how you're doing them and you know the mechanics of each particular spy mission you're doing, but it's still kind of a cumbersome thing where you're not guaranteed to get the Ivara frame that you're looking for. I should be headshotting. Yeah, that's much better. Headshotting, they go down in one shot. I do think Ivara is a little bit better of a frame as far as utility goes. There's more that she can do. But yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where it's hard to say one is specifically better than the other. Loki has his own advantages, like he can run while he's in stealth, which Avara cannot do. He's also the fastest base frame in the game, like his movement speed is faster than any other frame at base. So he's very, very good for getting around quickly and stealth. He also has a really cool ability where he radial disarms enemies, so they're forced to do nothing but melee you, which basically makes certain enemies completely useless. Like, obviously, if the enemy's already melee, that's not going to affect them much, but if they're a normally ranged enemy and you force them to melee, chances are it's going to severely lower their damage and increase their vulnerability to you. Okay, even headshotting, we didn't get him in one hit. That's okay, though. Let's just get on over here. Alright. Be prepared, Tenno. I think we're about to get a little Chroma action. Do not engage. Oh, hello, Chroma. Hello, hello. Okay, so we're supposed to synthesize Chroma here. Now, I'm not entirely sure how we're, like... I don't know if you can, kinetic trap him, can you? No, you can't. Okay, so this is actually really interesting, because we're not supposed to attack him, and we're not going to be able to hurt him or anything anyway. But the question is, how do you synthesize him without fighting him? Oh, ow. Alright, so we're dead. I'm going to go ahead and res up here. I'm going to immediately cast Iron Skin, and then I'm going to pull out my synthesis scanner and try to get me a scan of Chroma. Okay, that's one. Oh, that's all we need. Alright, I guess that was a lot simpler than I was making it out to be. So yeah. Avara great, Loki great. Really, the best recommendation I have, if you're not sure what frame you want to go after next and you've capped out all the frames in your arsenal, go find, like, a video by a YouTuber that you trust. I actually realize I don't have one of these videos, but there are a lot of really, really well-versed YouTubers out there that will have videos where they rank frames, and they talk about their usefulness and utility and things like that. The reason I haven't made one of those is because I frankly haven't played every single frame, so I wouldn't have the most experience to provide. But that being said, there are quite a few out there that do it. I definitely recommend giving Makari Morph's videos a look on that. iFlynn has some good videos on that, and so does Brozyme. And their videos are generally pretty comprehensive. There's obviously a little bit of slant in each person's videos for which frames they prefer themselves. And you're gonna find, even if you look up people's guides and you're like, well, they said this is an S-rank frame, it may be an S-rank frame, but if you don't enjoy it and you don't know how to play it properly and it doesn't gel with your playstyle, it's not gonna be an S-rank frame. So, you know, look stuff up, but at the same time, do your thing. Do what fits well for you. That's kind of the beauty of Warframe, is that there's usually at least 4 to 5 different frames that can do whatever job you're trying to do. My suggestion, honestly, at this point in the game, if you've already got your Rhino, you've already got your Volt, I'd get your Gara so that you have a really strong defensive frame, and then I would just start building prime frames. Like, just start cracking relics, just start focusing on building your prime frames. You know what, let's do this. On the next episode, I think we'll show how to do a rad share. Because I think doing a rad share is one of the most useful skills that any player can have in Warframe. And rad shares are going to allow you to more easily acquire the rare parts that you need to finish prime frames and things. Maybe we'll even go all out and build a prime. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so now we need to craft the Chroma Mark. Let's come on over here. Go for Mark. Chroma Mark. Okay, so this is going to... Oh, I don't have the creds. Okay, so we're just shy on creds, so I'm gonna go ahead and get us some creds. A lot of veterans will tell you not to do this. I wouldn't worry about it too much, and here's why. We've got 17 revenge. We don't need that. I'm gonna take 16 of these and just turn them into creds. Sure. 3,200 creds back, that'll give me what I need. Veterans will tell you not to do that. They'll say to break those mods down for Endo, but if you do Maru's Bazaar every week and you fill the statue with gems and turn it in, you're not gonna have to worry about Endo for a very long time, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. Get your creds as quickly as you can so that you can keep progressing through these missions. That's going to be much more beneficial than getting a few extra endo because you decided to wait to crack those. So while that's cooking, let's go ahead and take a look at what is available to us just based on our supply. I want to see the number owned. So we've got a bunch of Lith M5s. Lith M5s would give us access to Titania. Titania is an excellent, excellent frame. One of the best ones in the game, I think you could get. She does provide a unique benefit that most other frames do not have, and that's that her 4 allows her to legitimately fly in any mission. This trivializes and makes easier almost every spy mission. It makes easier anything that has any kind of jump puzzle. She just makes it super, super easy. In addition to that, this also has the Stradivar Prime barreled. The Stradivar is a very nice Prime assault rifle. It has the Atlas Prime blueprint. It has the Redeemer Prime blade. The Redeemer Prime is a gun blade that's very, very powerful. And it also has the Mesa Prime Neuroptics blueprint. So this is a great relic, especially considering that we have 10 of them. Now, if we look at the W2 here, Wukong is a potential frame we could work on. The Boz is another great assault rifle. Fang Prime's not that awesome. Stradivar Prime receiver here, so if we wanted to work on the Stradivar Prime, we could run both of these and get 2 of the different parts. Wukong is actually a really, really strong frame, but he doesn't fill a role that nobody else kind of fills. Titania actually does, with her flying. So if we wanted to go... We also have the Ivara blueprint. So we could work on Ivara, we could work on Titania. One thing that's very useful is you can go in here and type in Titania, and we can see that I have 1 of the Mesa we'd need, and I have 10 of the Lith. So we don't have any of the more endgame ones that we would need to finish her, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Same thing for Ivara, we're lacking in the Neo and Axii relics. Now you can get a lot of relics to build primes from running bounties and things, but usually that's the most recent prime, so we could very easily put together like a Nova Prime, which isn't a bad idea. Nova's a very strong frame. But I think we would get more value out of getting Titania or out of getting Ivara. Okay. Let's see. We gotta wait for them to stop talking. You must learn to collaborate with me. Samaris is just super, super pretentious, guys. Samaris most pretentious.
Steward of your sanctuary?
Ours, and with a full retrofit, total mimetic restoration.
Oh boy.
Abandon the operator?
Yes, the operator deserves a newer, better ship, Cephalon. I think this is probably for the best.
Oh, so self-degrading, Ortis, please.
Your data transfer when your operator has completed this hunt. Tenno, I've marked the location.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. You guys can chit-chat later. Give me the mission. Okay, so we are going to defeat Chroma on Europa. We're probably not going to defeat Chroma, though. Let's be honest. Chroma is a beefy, beefy boy. And probably higher level than us. Like, I honestly should have maybe switched over to Volt for this so that it'd be a little bit easier. But I think we'll be fine in the long run.
Machine, and then prepare yourself.
Okay.
Chroma will be lured.
Chroma will be lured. That's what you want to do. You have an extremely powerful frame that people haven't seen in a very long time, being controlled by something nobody knows, and you want to lure it in. This can't go wrong at all, right, guys? This has success written all over it. Alright, through we go. I really love this Orokin tile set, I really do. That's like my favorite tile set in the game. That's probably just because I really love Lua, which we haven't been to yet. It'll be exciting when we do get to go there on the beginner's guide, because there are quite a few different little neat things you can do on Lua. And I will be excited to share those with you guys when we get to that point. I'm kind of running around here hoping we get lucky. I don't know if it's even possible because this is a story mission, but Lua often has these really cool treasure rooms that you can get in, and they have really nice rewards. Nope, don't think so. I think this is a unique tile set for this mission. Okay, let's go, folks. The arcane machine has been triggered, and Chroma should be coming after us soon. I'm gonna just stand up here for a moment. I remember this mission being extremely hard when I was a new player, so we'll see if it still holds true that it is extremely difficult. Oh yeah, we've got, that's gonna make it more difficult. We've got Corpus here, so we're not just dealing with health, we're dealing with shields. Although, actually, I think that shotguns kinda get through shields a little bit easier, because they fire multiple pellets, which helps wear down those shields faster, and armor just, like, reduces damage, I think, from the pellets. That's just my perception of it. It feels that way. I don't think that's the actual mechanic behind it, but it does seem to burn off shields a lot faster than it gets through armor. Armor is pretty incredible. Like, realistically, as you get further in the game, you'll focus less on putting shields and health on your Warframes and more on putting armor on. That being said, though, like, if you get far enough and you feel comfortable, I usually just run one particular defensive mod on all of my frames, and that's Vigor, which is plus 120% shields, plus 120% health. And the reason I typically run just that one is because it allows you to get health and shields from one slot. But depending on the frame, I'll also run armor. It really just kind of depends on what the frame itself specializes in. Because there are some frames that specifically increase armor, and that's their focus. And obviously with that, you don't want to necessarily go shields, you want to play into the strength of the frame. Samaras is trying to get Ordis to betray us, guys. That slimy, evil Cephalon. I told you guys, he's such a pretentious jerk. Wow. Now you see that, he's lording over Ordis. He's like, no, if you want to be part of the Sanctuary, do what I say. Let the operator get wrecked. It's okay, we trust you, Ordis. We trust you, we know you got our back. Hello, Franz. Get wrecked. Hopefully we actually finish this off fast enough that we can go check out Sanctuary Onslaught. If we are able to, we'll probably get quite a few levels on our gear right here, and maybe even hit our next mastery rank. I haven't checked where we're at affinity-wise for that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got in there if that was an outcome. Where are you guys at? There's one. I'm mostly leaning on the Heat Sword right now, and that's just because the Heat Sword makes short works of groups a little bit better than the Heck does. The Heck is really good for when you have beefy single targets. So when we get more, like, Eximus enemies, things like that, that's when the Heck is gonna help us out more. But when they're just sort of weak things that you can cut down pretty easily, then going for your melee weapon is a lot better, because you get a little bit more sweep action, and you'll hit multiple targets. You're also a little bit more, like, mobile with melee weapons, because you can leap slam stuff. And that'll help you get around the map a little quicker. Take things out. Obviously, we've got some problems over here, so we're going to take these guys out. Toxin on our Heat Sword right now is helping out. Hello, friend. Let me just cut you down right quick. More enemies coming from over here. Oh, and we have the energy. Let's stomp and boom! I love that. I love that so much. You actually increase the damage of your Rhino charge if you stomp first. It, like, hovers them in the air, and then when you hit them, the force is higher because they're not affected by gravity currently. So it sends them flying further, and it actually does, like, do more damage. Which is really great if you consider that you need to kill stuff with abilities to speed level or to rank your frames faster. Come on, get off of this. Another nifty trick here is if you get down to just one enemy left on a defense mission, you can stall and let the defense target heal. So if I just stand here like this, watch the health and the shield of the defense target. Wait, is there another enemy? There is. Bye, Osprey. Okay. Now we want to pull our sword out here so that we can deflect these shots. Oh, we killed it too quick. Anyways, if you can stall it out like that, you can cause the defense target to heal up. I really wish we'd brought Volt now. Volt would have made much shorter work of these enemies and helped keep the points safer a lot easier. I'm gonna go ahead and put Iron Skin on so that we're a little bit safer. Goal here is, of course, to get through enemies as quickly as possible because we are losing health on the point quite a bit more than I would like to. Alright, that's down. Yeah, I'm thinking the Heck's not going to kill things fast enough to make a difference, so we definitely want to stick to our melee weapon. Oof. Wow, that point is hurting bad right now. That point is hurting very badly. The problem is that they're all ranged enemies, so unless we, like, actually run out to engage them, they're going to keep beating on the point, but when we run out to engage them, we're unable to defend the point. This is the place where a defense frame like Gara or Frost would be extremely useful. Frost is a frame that I didn't go ahead and grab with my other account, so I'm not super versed with it. It is pretty early that you can get it, though, so it's not a bad frame, but I just feel like Gara is better. Oh, Lord. Okay. This is bad news. Where's this last enemy? Yeah, right here. Come on, shoot me. Okay, this is it. This is what we need to do. I just want him to shoot at me. And you can see we're letting the point kind of heal up. If we can let this point heal up to a reasonable amount, I think we'll make it through just fine. The trick here is just making sure that this MOA keeps shooting us. See? This is what it's about right here. Just gonna let this MOA shoot the arcane machine, or rather shoot us instead of the arcane machine. And we'll bounce the shots off, and you can see the shield and the health of the arcane machine are refilling. This is a little bit cheesy, but you know what? In this instance, it's fine. It's totally fine. With us being unable to, like, kill the enemies quickly enough for them to not deal damage to the point, it's just wise to do this. Just let it build back up a little bit. I mean, if I was being really snide right here, I would dance. But I'm not going to do that, because this is just me kind of taking advantage of this capability. Hey, Mr. MOA, keep shooting me. Here, shoot my Iron Skin. That'll actually give us even more Iron Skin health. So when you first cast Iron Skin, it doesn't actually give you Iron Skin health. It just, like, puts it up there in the corner. And then if you take damage while you're waiting for the health to actually come on, it gives you more Iron Skin. So it's actually more efficient to turn it on when you're being hit than when you're not. And here, it's going to take him so long to cut through our Iron Skin, it's not going to matter. We're up to about 6k health. I think that probably is enough, but I want to let the shield fully recharge before I kill him off. Wait, where is he now? Oh, I thought he got stuck in there for a minute. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. I like that we're not deflecting any of his shots anymore. Okay, let's just... I mean, honestly, if we wanted to reduce the damage we were taking, you can just roll. Rolling reduces the damage by a considerable amount. I think it's 50%, it might actually be 60. So just by rolling around like this, he's not really hitting us, and we're letting the point regen health. This is actually kind of hilarious. They aim like stormtroopers, guys. Okay, that's enough health. We've got 9k health on the point. If that's not enough, then I guess that's not enough. I'm sure that'll be fine. I don't want to sit here and wait forever. And it is still gaining health as we wait, so... The main thing here is to quickly get on the enemies and make sure that they are hitting us and not the point. There's another one here. Hello. Get you. There's a shield Osprey floating around giving shields to enemies. That's not good. And actually, one trick we can use here is that power slam attack is very good for taking enemies off their feet, meaning that they will not be able to shoot at the point. For a moment at least. So we're gonna do that as much as we possibly can to kind of ground enemies. This is especially useful if you're trying to melee drones. Drones, for whatever reason, are actually affected by that power attack, and they will fall on the ground. That makes them a lot easier to take down than going at them while they're in the air. That was a nullifier. Thankfully, we had no buffs up that he could nullify, so no big loss there. Oh, and here comes Chroma. Okay, so we need to kill these enemies while also synthesizing Chroma, which is super, super convenient, because, you know, we haven't been struggling to kill these enemies anyway. Ah, Chroma, please. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my synthesizer out. Chroma, please, hold still. Okay, so that's one scan. Oh, and they've broken the shields. So we gotta get back and defend the point as well. Trying to scan Chroma and defend the point at the same time is not fun. There's another scan. There's another scan. Just keep trying to get scans. Chroma, hold still, man. Ah, he just wants to run around. In this instance, what I'm gonna do is come back and try to deal with this drone. Oh, whoops, that was bad. Okay, if we slam there, he'll fall down and we can get him, but that's not what ended up happening anyway. Chroma's down, so I'm gonna scan him. I don't know why he keeps kneeling, but I'll take it. There we go. Alright. I don't know how many times we had to scan him there, but we got a lot of actual reputation with Cephalon Samaras there for doing it. Obviously, Samaras isn't going to be super happy with Ortis for being like, no, I'm not going to abandon the operator. Ortis is a loyal friend. We like Ortis. Or Ortis.
Severed the control of Chroma. The hunt is over.
Awesome. Okay, so we got Chroma.
These scans will be an incredible addition to
He's about to browbeat Ortis, watch.
I will continue my search for the source of the voice and
here we go.
domination. Return to me and hunt again, Tenno. I will reward you.
Uh-huh. What about Ortis?
More importantly, the operator is unharmed.
Thank you, Ortis.
Disappoint me, Cephalon Ortis. I was offering a greater purpose.
Samaras is a jerk, guys.
As steward, I would have restored your lost memories.
Maybe Ortis doesn't want his lost memories. Maybe they're lost for a reason, huh?
I serve the operator.
Yeah, that's right. I'll make new memories. See, that's our Ortis right there, folks. Okay, so Chroma is... It's really cool when they do these action shots with your frame in them. So Chroma is unlocked now, and we have access to his blueprint. We just have to get his parts to be able to build him if we would like to. He's not a bad frame, but he kind of serves the same purpose as Rhino in a lot of ways. And I think that Rhino serves that purpose a little bit easier, especially now that self-damage has been removed from the game. So I would definitely not make Chroma a super high priority. And we should now have access to Sanctuary Onslaught. Oh, we also have mail. Let's check our mail. Show me the mail, please.
Quest is available in your codex.
Hunter, you have worked
Okay.
hard. Captured millions of imprints to be combined into ideal specimens
Okay.
for the sanctuary.
I have not captured millions of anything, but...
Contributions. I've decided to expand your role.
Oh boy.
Every day I perform preliminary synthesis to determine what creature will join the sanctuary next.
So we get to
Want
work
see
for you,
the sanctuary
basically.
grow as quickly as I do? Then join me in this task by
Okay.
visiting the sanctuary.
That's his way of saying we get to work for him and help him capture stuff for the sanctuary. Oh boy.
Conflict reveals nature, reveals
Here we go.
Within my sanctuary, truth is immortal, but it lacks the conflict I require.
So he's not really preserving things as much as he's testing them.
Countless times, but it is not enough. I need you. Challenge my specimens within the construct and enlighten me.
He wants us to go fight his specimens.
I await your presence in the relay.
Samaras is a jerk, guys. Hashtag Samaras
Do you
jerk.
remember?
Oops. Okay. That was Ortis telling us a little bit about the old war. That's another one of those story bits that you guys can kind of appreciate on your own, too. Like, we don't need to go through all of that on here. So what we should now have access to, though, is Sanctuary Onslaught. Lovely. We've got just enough time left to do that for a little bit, which is very cool. So what we're going to do is make sure that we're using the weapons and things that we want to level up. Do we have any secondaries to level? I don't think so at the moment. I think the AK Broncos, when they come out, will be worth leveling. Wait, what? Why do we still have the regular Broncos? Oh, that's right. I didn't build them. I didn't build them. I got us the creds and then didn't build them because I'm awesome. Oh no, we actually lack the creds to build those. Okay, well, we could burn down some other excess mods to get that, but I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll just run Series Gabby later for that. For right now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Sanctuary Onslaught, and I'll show you guys how the mode works. One thing to keep in mind, Sanctuary Onslaught is basically kind of opt-in, opt-out. Do not feel obligated to stay longer than you feel like you can be productive, because the reality is you probably won't be very productive after a certain number of rounds. The idea is that you kill enemies as quickly and efficiently as possible for as long as you possibly can, and then you drop. Yep. All specimens as quickly as possible. So we've got allies in here with us. I'm going to jump into the conduit right now, and that's going to take us to our first Sanctuary Onslaught zone. On the top left, you'll see kill all specimens and the efficiency for doing so. What we want to do here is go ahead and howl to give everybody a little bit of a damage boost. You'll note that we have a Saren in here with us. That's going to make a big difference. We already got a heck level right there. So our goal here is just to kill enemies as quickly as we possibly can by not getting stuck behind plants. Alright, where is everybody at? There's something. I have terrible aim. Ideally here, you'll come in with like damage frames. If you're really just trying to do Sanctuary Onslaught and get rewards, you'll come in with a damage frame, but like I said, most people use this as a good way to level up new weapons and new frames. Because there's always people running it. Is that an ally down? It is. Let's see if we can get them back up. Oh no, that's a Moa. It's okay, we'll save your Moa. The other thing you can look for in these maps, and if you actually bring yourself a loot radar, it'll help. There are efficiency items that you can find, like floating. They're little, like, genetic code-looking things. And if you find them, they actually raise your efficiency rating, because your efficiency rating in this controls the score you get. The score doesn't actually matter that much, as long as you don't let it fall low enough to, like, actually fail, you're fine. So, like, it doesn't matter if you get a B or an S. All that matters is that you don't allow that efficiency to fall to, like, 0, I think it is, or whatever the amount is needed for him to fail you. And I honestly can't tell you offhand how much that is, because I usually don't stick around until I'm going to fail, because it's usually pretty clear. You're like, okay, this is not going as it should be. I'm not going to be able to make it through the next round. So you just kind of skip out and don't jump through the conduit. Now, when the time comes, you can see there's a little counter there that's counting down, 37 seconds, 35 seconds. When that gets to 0, a conduit will open on the map, and in order to continue on to the next round, we need to jump into that conduit. If we don't want to continue to the next round, if we're reasonably sure that we're not going to make it, or we know that the rest of the team is intending to leave, then what we do is we just don't jump into that conduit. Gonna use my roar here. As you can see, we've gained like 2 or 3 heck levels already. It's going very, very quickly for us. And that's the thing, is I'm definitely not the one doing the majority of the killing in this, for sure. Did they just say something? No, they didn't. Okay, I was just making sure that our teammates weren't trying to talk to us. So yeah, I'm not doing the majority of the killing here by any means. I'm using the heat sword now just because it's a little bit faster. Conduit is materializing. We can see the marker for it right there. So in just a moment, this conduit should open, at which time we will jump through it to go on to the next one. And we're going to keep trying to kill stuff, even though we are very much the slowest killer in this map, I think, right now. Okay, A+. I'll take it. I'll take it considering how inefficient we were in that one. Our teammates are awesome, though, so they're helping us get through this, and we are gaining quite a bit of affinity relatively quickly. Rhino's only ranked 23, but the Hex gained like 6 ranks already, so, well, it looked like 3. But the other thing is that this functions just like regular missions, where it only shows you the ranks that you're guaranteed to leave with. It doesn't show you the ones that you could potentially lose if you die. Okay, that guy's down. So we are getting some heck kills here. Another thing to note is that the affinity you get from your allies is split between your weapons and things, so if you're really trying to power level like just the heck, then you can come in with just the heck. Now, that is going to be problematic if you run out of ammo, because you won't be able to kill stuff anymore, which will impact your ability to help the party. But just bringing in that one weapon will increase the speed with which you do level it. Alright, that guy's down. Hi there. God, I love the heck. Look at that. 2 shots, dude went down. Somebody has already found 3 out of 4 of the stimulus. There's the 4th one right there. That little yellow, glowy, DNA-looking thing right there. So now we have all of the boosts for efficiency, and all we have to do is kill stuff until the minute and 20 is up. Oh, hello, Wisp. Wisp is awesome. Wisp is a support frame. You'll note that our heck will shoot faster now that we just picked up that node from her. See little things floating around us? Those actually grant us bonuses. I believe the ones we have on right now will both stun them, it'll increase our health, it'll make it so that we have a higher fire rate. And with certain weapons, that higher fire rate is insane. Like with the Gorgon that we were leveling, that ramp-up assault rifle, if you get the higher fire rate from Wisp, it's basically just... it is Daka Daka Daka. That's what it is right there. Okay. Just kind of running around looking for enemies. A big part of this is literally just finding enemies, because everybody's killing everything, so there's very rarely actually enemies up and alive and available to be taken out. Wow. Was that a Mesa? I'm assuming that was a Mesa that just popped them off. Yeah, I think that's who that is. So Mesa is a pretty common pick that people will run in here. Saren is another pretty common pick. Anybody that can, like, AoE kill stuff, they'll pick. Ember is actually a really good one too, and you can get her from clan halls. Ember is actually a frame that might serve some utility to a player that's new. primarily just because there aren't a lot of AoE nuke frames that are readily available. Like Mesa, you're going to want to build as a Prime, probably. And that's going to take a little bit of time and effort. Saren isn't available till much later in the game. But Ember, you can just build from the Clan Hall, and her 4 is a great, great AoE nuke ability. Okay, so the conduit is open. I gotta get out of here or I'm gonna get left behind. And I am trapped. That is not good. How much time do I have? Okay, cool. There we go. And we're through. How much heck ranks? We're at 17 with the heck now. So it's still not, like, ridiculously fast, but it's a lot faster than the other missions we've been doing, and the real question is, like, how much time we're gonna put into this versus how much we're gonna get out. Heat Sword looks like it's ranked up quite a bit here. We go ahead and use our damage buff, and then just start unloading with the Heat Sword, and I'm gonna use our stance attack here for more damage. You can hear somebody using, like, a rapid-fire weapon with Wisp's bonus. Wisp's bonus also applies... It's actually hard to say Wisps for me, for some reason, but Wisp's bonus actually applies to your melee attacks as well, so if you make sure that you, like, run through her little node things right here, you'll actually melee faster. You can see I swing a lot faster with those. Yeah, just look at that difference. So very, very useful overall in killing things, especially when you're trying to rank things up. Having that higher attack speed. Oh, we found one of the efficiency things. Stimulus collected. Efficiency is at 100 right now. Wow, just look at the speed that we swing when we have those buffs. It's just crazy, guys. Wisp is not available until later in the game, though, so don't think you're gonna rush to get her. She's extremely useful, but you're better off looking early game if you're trying to find a good support frame. You either want to look at Volt, because he's very, very strong as a support frame. He doesn't have any healing, though. Or you want to look at Oberon or, why can't I... Come on, man. Trinity. Oberon and Trinity have some decent healing. Trinity is currently available as a Prime and is actually available in the relics that drop from bounties. So that's a quick way to get her. Hey, look, there's another stimulus right there. So we snag that. Now we've gotten 2 out of 3 stimuluses on this map. Those will actually increase your score quite a bit, so definitely keep an eye out for those. And we are contributing, guys. We may not be killing everything. Oh, that's not good. We may not be killing everything, but... Oh, okay. So I keep going down there, and that's because there's a fan there that I wasn't paying attention to. Somebody else just did it, too. Ah, it's not just me. See, I'm not that terrible. Okay, I am pretty terrible, though. Anyways... So we're not contributing a ton when it comes to killing stuff, but we are finding the efficiency boost, so that's a thing. Did we get all 3 on this map? I don't think we did. I think we got 2 out of 3. Oh, we have an Ivara. Yeah! We have an Ivara. We have a dash wire. Okay, let's get off the dash wire and go through the conduit. I wonder what our heck's at now, folks. So when we get done with this, we're gonna have quite a few more levels on everything. The heck's almost at 20 now. Rhino's at 24. We're getting much, much closer with him. The Heat Sword is at 22. We'll either finish at least one of these things or get very, very close to finishing all of them by the end of this, I suspect. Our Moa friend over here is hurt, so I'm going to go ahead and use Iron Skin and then res him up. Get that Moa up. And then slashy slashy. All the slashes. Actually, I don't... So I was just reading chat, and I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I don't do Sanctuary Onslaught enough to know why everybody's freaking out for a minute, but it doesn't seem like people are getting what they expected here. I use Hydrant Sedna on my main account to rank up, and that's just because it's honestly like a more efficient version of Sanctuary Onslaught. But the other one you can do when you get later in the game is Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and the reason Elite Sanctuary Onslaught has value is because not only does it award you with relics as you complete rounds, it rewards you with relics that have already been upgraded to Radiant, which means that you can use them to do rad shares and more easily acquire the rare pieces that you need to finish weapons and frames. So doing Elite Sanctuary Onslaught is a great way to farm up stuff that you need out of relics. It's also a great way to make platinum because relics that are ratted have a chance to drop parts that are usually more expensive, and those can be sold to other players for quite a good bit of platinum, which will help you to fuel your Warframe slots and your weapon slots. So when you get to the point that you can run Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, that is a great thing to just help you round out your primes as well as build up your platinum. There are lots and lots of ways to make platinum, though. Don't be deluded into thinking that platinum is a very difficult resource to come across. It's difficult to come across when you need it, it feels like. But the reality is that if you're very cautious with how you spend it, you should be fine, and you shouldn't really need to dump a ton of money into it, provided you're doing the right things to make platinum. For example, if you are... Oh, look, there's an efficiency thing. See? Oh, we're on the Gas City map. That's awesome. So there's actually some secret doors and stuff here, but you have to, like, do stuff to activate them. Ah, hello there. So, that little triangle there is for this switch right here, but you have to do stuff to make it accessible, and we're probably not going to be doing that because the next conduit door is open. Anyways, I forgot where I was at. Oh yeah, plat. So if you do, when you reach the point where you can do sorties, if you do your sortie every day, there's a chance to get ribbon mods, and if you get a rifle ribbon mod, that generally goes for about 50 to 55 platinum, and people buy those unrevealed, like, non-stop. So that's, if you think about it this way, that is basically 2 frames and maybe 2 weapon slots. And that's just from selling something that you get from your sortie. So, as long as you're being frugal with your plat, you can basically fund yourself for a good long time. Man, this is getting really laggy, guys. I apologize, I don't know what's going on with that. That's really weird. I don't normally experience lag in this at all. And I'm not sure what's up with that. I know earlier when I was messing with the camera, it was having issues and the camera was lagging. I'm not sure what is going on. Maybe my system just needs, like, messed with. Windows didn't update last night, so it could definitely be something attached to that, because Windows updates are always perfect for extremely technical, you know, streaming and recording setups. Best thing ever is a Windows update. I don't know. Seems okay now. But yeah, so you can make a lot of plat off your sorties, you can make a lot of plat by selling prime parts. There was like a... I think that one of the prime pieces that I got recently sold for like 22 plat. So just cracking relics, there's another 22 plat, so there's a Warframe slot. More interestingly enough, if you actually unveil a ribbon mod, and it's a really good one, you can sell those for a considerable amount of money. Like, ribbons can go from anywhere to like 150 plat to like 1,500 plat, depending on what they are. And that's because ribbon mods basically live outside the rules. They're unique, and people will pay a lot to have their favorite weapon just be really, really strong and OP. And that's a great way for you to be able to make that platinum. Another thing you can do that's actually worth quite a bit is if you get further in the game and you get into the Kuva Lich system, there are certain Kuva Liches that have ephemera on them, which are like visual effects for when you're walking around. Like, you may already have some. I think we have some on this account, but I haven't used them yet. Anyways, the ephemera are just like little cool effects that happen when you walk and stuff like that. And the liches can spawn randomly with certain ephemera, and they can only be gotten from those liches. So if you manage to get yourself a Kuva Lich with the ephemera on it, and then capture it instead of kill it, you can actually sell those to other players. That's a little bit more involved of a process to do. But if you do it, you can make a lot of platinum from that. So definitely don't ever feel like you're being limited by platinum. Platinum is very, very easy to accumulate if you're willing to put in the time and effort. Things that are not able to be purchased with platinum are actually generally at more of a premium. For the longest time, when I was playing, I was less restrained by... Did nobody else come with us? No, okay, 3 people came through. Oh no, somebody left. Well, we might find out what happens when you fail in the synthesis thing. That being said, anyways, I found for the longest time as a free-to-play player, your real limiter is your creds. Generating enough creds depending on your burn rate. Like, if you're quickly leveling weapons and your goal is just to increase your mastery rank, then what's going to end up happening more often than not is you're going to basically burn through all of your credits crafting new weapons so you can increase your affinity. Oh boy, I'm alone. Everybody else left. Okay, so this is the point where we fail. Yeah, this is the point where we fail, which is actually okay because we're kind of out of time anyway. I'm gonna try to survive until the next conduit comes up, but that's not gonna be very likely. I'm gonna smash slam my way to the next conduit. That's what's gonna happen. Or the next conduit, and then we won't go through it. And we'll just have to hope that this is enough. Oh, we did get a Nightwave completion there, though. So that's nice. So yeah, with the creds, doing Series Gabby is a great way to make creds, but it's not... You know, that's 25 creds every 5 minutes. If you're spending 20k creds to craft an AK Bronco, and you're leveling an AK Bronco to max every day, then you're burning through that 5 minutes relatively quickly, especially if you consider that you're leveling multiple weapons at once, things like that. So one of the other tricks you'll end up doing is you'll figure out how to get into the index, and once you do that, there's some easy ways to make money, especially if you go on medium difficulty. Rhino is going to be very, very key to you making money in the index, so definitely spend some time getting comfortable with him, and consider putting a reactor on him. If when you're playing this, for whatever reason, Rhino Prime is available, he's definitely worth farming for that reason. And yeah, I mean, really, being credit locked is one of the few things I experienced that was surprising to me in the game. When you're not restrained by the premium currency, you're just constrained by the in-game currency. It's something different. Although part of that too was that when... Oh, synthetic Eidolon shard. Hello. Okay, so we're not going through the conduit. We're not. We're out of here. Heck is rank 23. Rhino's rank 26. Heat Sword's rank 27. One more run through here. They'll probably all be maxed out. I am aware I'm running out of time. I don't want none. I don't want none, man. I'm leaving. Get me out of here. 5 seconds. Get me out of here. That's actually really cool. I don't think I have the synthetic Eidolon shard on my main account. Alright. So if we take a look at that, that was about 20 minutes, and we almost capped everything out. That's not bad at all. The synthetic Eidolon shard, I think, is actually a decoration, so very cool that we got that. We also got a little bit of Oxium from killing the Oxium Ospreys, and we got a couple of relics. Let's go ahead and check out that Eidolon shard real quick, because I've never gotten one of those. Because I don't do Sanctuary Onslaught that much. Is that not in here? Huh. I had assumed the synthetic Eidolon shard would be in here as a decoration, but I don't see it now. Let's see. Inventory... Eidolon. No description available. I wonder if you can use this like you normally use Eidolon shards, so we'll wait on that, and I'll figure it out later, guys. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. That was Sanctuary Onslaught. That was the end of the new Strange. Coming into the next one, maybe we'll try to farm out our first Prime Frame or Prime Weapon or something. That seems like a good opportunity for me to be able to show you guys something new. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!